This is the new Samsung Rant, a new QWERTY device for Sprint. See, it's a fairly normal bar-shaped phone, 2 megapixel camera on the back. It's got the micro USB port on the side for charging, which is nice. Dedicated camera key. Headphone jack. Unfortunately, it's only a 2.5mm headphone jack. It's not a standard 3.5mm. Volume control. And then when you slide the device open, you get a nice 4-row QWERTY keyboard. You'll also notice that the screen automatically rotates. The keys themselves are made of rubber, but they're not too soft and they have a reasonable feel. There's a nice typewriter, mechanical typewriter sound when you press each key. It's kind of cool. The only key might be a bit of a question is the space bar, but it works pretty well for considering how wide it is and being really just 2 rubber buttons linked together. If you want to see that micro SD slot we mentioned earlier, you actually have to take off the rear cover. You don't have to remove the battery, but just by removing the cover you get access to the slot here. Up here next to the Samsung logo we have a little LED indicator that's used to show new messages that have arrived and other things like that. It kind of looks like a display auto brightness control sensor, but it's not. Overall the Rant feels quite solid. It's not creaky or anything like that. The slider mechanism is nicely sprung. But the device is going to stay put. If it's open, it's going to stay open. If it's closed, it's pretty much going to stay closed unless you desire otherwise. Square D-pad on the Rant has a nice solid feel to it. Pretty easy to use. Dedicated OK button in the middle. It's dedicated speakerphone button over here on the left, back button, and then your call, send, and end buttons, 2 soft keys. The numeric keypad itself also has a nice feel. Keys are maybe a little slick, but very usable. You can see on the display the new Sprint one-click user interface. It's a carousel of tabs, I suppose. Move left and right with the D-pad. Select the tab and each one brings up its own options. This is the Home tab, which is the default view. You can see that we can personalize it a bit. We're going to add what Sprint's calling a bubble. Pick a horoscope bubble. It's going to connect to the network, download some data, and then we're done. Now you can see we have headlines and horoscope for Geminis on the home screen. Say for example that we didn't like the Google tile. We can easily remove it. Or if we'd rather, we could just move it. And that way it's easy to rearrange the tiles in the way you find most suitable. You can also see that we can set up shortcuts, bookmarks, photos, or menu items. And you can go pretty deep inside the menu. We'll assign that to the TV application. So now we have quick access from the home screen. We just move over to the shortcuts, click TV. Of course there is a regular main menu. From the Home tab, you just hit the OK button, you'll come up with a regular icon grid where you can get to everything normally. The Rant supports Sprint's Music Store, so we're going to check that out. A lot of these applications on the Rant are Java powered. Nice thing is though they can be played in the background, so you can have the music player going in the background. It'll be interrupted when you have a call and automatically continue when the call's over. I hit the end call key. You can see it gives me the option to go back, to exit the application, or to send to the background. Once in the background, you can use the phone normally. Go through the main menu, anything else. We'll go back to the music app. Next time we'll stop it. Take a quick look at text messaging on the Rant. You'll notice when we open it up, the phone automatically switches to the messaging tab, makes it easy to send a text message. You'll also notice that there are two dedicated soft keys for use when it's in landscape mode when you're using the QWERTY keyboard. You can still use these two keys here, but it's a little awkward since they don't line up properly. But this makes a lot of sense. It makes it very easy to use. So we're just going to create a new message. Pick a previously used phone number and just start typing. It's a little hard to type since I'm looking at this from a weird angle because I'm looking around a camera, but you can see it works in general. And send it off. So there you have it. It's a quick look at the Samsung Rant for Sprint. Nice little 2-megapixel QWERTY messaging device. It's available in Sprint stores now.